What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours. We do have a lot of topics to discuss. We're going to discuss Bernardo Silva signing, Xavi Simons signing, Joao Kimmich signing, how Xavi wants to sell Lewandowski and Raphinha, how all players will have a reset under Hansi Flick, the future of Araújo and De Jong, whether or not we need a big sale or not, big updates on FFP, the Nike deal almost over the line. But this video is going to revolve around Joao Laporta's interview with Barca 1 yesterday, where he gave all the details, all the insights on everything around Barcelona, I would say, over the past week or so, and also gave us some good insights on what the club's current plan is for the summer transfer window, dropping, big names, giving us, decisions on La Masia, on the Joaos. So much to discuss, but before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 24 hours. Firstly, this one came out of left field, RK out of nowhere. Bernardo Silva apparently back on the table now. It came out firstly from David Bernabeu of Sport. He came out saying that Barcelona have told Hansi Flick they will try to sign Bernardo Silva if they're able to return to the 1-1 FFP role. Although Flick would be more open to his signing, he is not a priority for him. This is the Xavi target. This is Xavi's dream player that now all of a sudden we're transitioning and moving forward to a Hansi Flick project. If Hansi Flick wants him, fair enough, but bring in a player that he wants to bring in. Don't be giving him good players that Xavi wanted. It makes no sense. Now, when I initially saw this, I'm like, there's no way. You have Fermin Lopez, Gavi, Pedri, Gundogan. You might bring in a Xavi Simons on a loan. You have Ansu Fati. There's no need whatsoever to sign Bernardo Silva. But then we got more confirmation. Plenty goal. Mr. Sky Germany has come out saying that Bernardo Silva is still a transfer target for Barcelona this summer. I think in his tweet he put like surprisingly as well, so even he's shocked about it. Several factors are needed to align for a move to be possible, but Hansi Flick rates him highly. Silva has a contract with Man City until 2026, release clause available this summer, which only Barcelona can pay in 3 installments. This is not worth it. This transfer for me, I am so against. The time to get Bernardo Silva was in 2022. Man's turning 30. You want to spend 60 million euros on him when you're going to get 2 or 3 good years out of him. I'd rather sign Joao Kimmich for 60 million over Bernardo Silva. We just don't need him. This is a luxury player in a team that does not need a luxury signing. It needs tactical, strong reinforcement in key areas, not a cherry on top of the cake signing. But we'll wait and see how things turn out. This is, again, I think the media trying to, spin some things after, of course, Madrid signed Mbappe, get some positive news out there. So we'll wait and see, but looks like Bernardo Silva's option of a transfer is back on the table for Barcelona. Now, a player who Barcelona have been linked heavily with over the past month, I would say the player that we've been linked with the most over the past month, has been Xavi Simons. Again, we all know his situation. He will most likely leave PSG this summer on a loan, and apparently, according to all the reports over the past month or so, he wanted to make a decision before the Euros. But now, he's postponed it. There are reports coming in from the Dutch media. Again, keep in mind he played for PSV and he is a Dutch player. He came out saying that Xavi Simons will only decide on his next step after the Euros. After PSV, he was also successful at RB Leipzig. He and PSG will probably make a decision about the future in July, so that remains to be seen. First midfielder wants to fully focus on the Dutch team at the Euros. Fair enough. Also gives Barcelona some time as well. I think the delay of the decision does favor, a move to Barcelona. We're hearing now that Bayern Munich are really interested in him. I saw Christian Folk tweet some Bayern Munich target list. Has about 25 midfielders on it. I think Frenkie de Jong's on there as well. It's just, it's whatever. I think I'm fairly confident that if we present our offer and that we want Xavi Simons, he'll come. I firmly believe that. It just depends on whether Barcelona pursue him. Again, I'd rather have Xavi Simons over Bernardo Silva. It is a clear-cut, decision in my opinion. But again, we'll wait and see how things do turn out and whether Barcelona do keep this interest or not. post Xavi. We haven't heard anything about Hansi Flick and Xavi Simons at all, so we'll wait and see how things turn out. But it looks like Barcelona right now, the general consensus is that they're really focused on returning to the 1-1 rule first before they make key decisions on transfer targets. Now, a key area in the midfield that Barcelona need to reinforce this summer is, of course, the pivot. One of the main targets, again, he's not really a pivot, but whatever, has been Joao Kimmich. And according to Mundo Deportivo, they've come out saying that in Germany, they say that Joao Kimmich is disappointed in Bayern Munich because they asked him to push his renewal till after the Euros, and he felt hanged and not valued enough. So where Xavi Simons decided to wait for his future till after the Euros, Bayern Munich have told Joao Kimmich they will offer him a renewal and discuss his future after the Euros as well. So strap your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen, for the month of July. You're gonna have transfer news, end of Euros, end of Copa America, pre-season, Olympics beginning. Oh my god. Subscribe, get the notification bell going, because it's gonna get crazy during the month of July. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. Again, whether or not Hansi Flick will push for it internally remains to be seen. But again, it's quite clear that Joao Kimmich is still on the list, still a target for Barcelona in the defensive pivot area. Now, a big update, in my opinion, is on the future of Joao Felix. This is the first time we're hearing any reports about Hansi Flick's relationship and his thoughts and his need of the player of Joao Felix. We know for a fact that Hansi Flick wants to keep Joao Cancelo, but now Pletigo has come out saying that Hansi Flick has not decided on whether or not he wants to keep Joao Felix at Barcelona this summer. So Hansi Flick still no final decision made on what he wants to do with Joao Felix quite yet. Again, the final decision for Joao Cancelo is confirmed. He wants to keep him. Of course, if the club can reach an agreement with Man City, he will end up staying. But with Joao Felix, he's still unsure. It's quite clear from the club's perspective, Joao, Laporta, and Deco, they want to keep Joao Felix, but if, Hansi Flick is against it, will that deteriorate their views on it? I think, again, with Joao Felix, it comes down to what Atletico Madrid want and what the terms of the agreement that we come up with. Again, if it's another loan, I understand why maybe Deco, Laporta want to kind of overrule Hansi Flick and just keep him for another season. I get that, but for spending even €1 on Joao Felix, I will absolutely lose my mind. So we'll wait and see how things do turn out. But again, Hansi Flick still has not made any decision internally for himself on the future of Joao Felix. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 24 hours. First up are two players who Xavi decided to sell this summer before, of course, getting sacked. We have two very big options here. First up is Robert Lewandowski, with David Bernabeu of Sport coming out saying that Xavi wanted to replace and sell Lewandowski with Artem Dovbyk. Bloody hell. I can see why Xavi got sacked. Yeah, madre mia. Look, Dovbyk had a great season. Won the Pichichi, did very well. It's one effing season. You're gonna bin one of the best strikers of our generation in Lewandowski and bring in a one-season wonder in Dovbyk. Wild. If Dovbyk has a good season with Girona again, or if he gets sold and he goes in and he plays and he, performs well again, fair enough, I'll hold the L. But until that happens, ain't no way you're telling me you're splashing 40-50 million on Dovbyk. My god, you know what? It gets even more interesting than that. According to Mundo Deportivo, Xavi and Deco had decided to sell Raphinha to raise funds for other signings at Barcelona this summer. It remains to be seen what Hansi Flick decides. So it looks like Raphinha could be one of those sacrificial lambs to, raise funds or to generate money to spend on other players as well. If, of course, we return to the 1-1 rule, we can sell Raphinha for 70, buy Kimmich for 60, and then buy Cancelo for 10, for example, something like that. So that could be an interesting factor as well. The club do have players where, you could say they're good players, but you can, live without them, so to speak. I think Raphinha, Christensen kind of fall in that category. Maybe even a Frenkie de Jong or Araújo as well. So we'll wait and see if the plan still continues from this point. But things will be like this kind of situation will become more clear once we cover Joao Laporta's interview later on in the video. Now, the news over the past 24 hours that has pissed me off the most is this French twat in Clement Lenglet. Tony Juan Martí has come out saying that Clement Lenglet is in no hurry to resolve his future. As of now, he plans to take part in preseason under Hansi Flick, which starts on July the 10th. Lenglet wants to continue in Europe and believes that he will have an interesting proposal from a major European league at some point. I want to just take this suitcase and just smack the crap out of it. This bloody prick, man, every single summer, and I told you guys this in the last video as well, I guarantee you Lenglet will come back pre-season, won't be on the plane, sits around, collects his wages, and he'll leave on loan in the last month of the transfer window. I'll tell you that right now for free. We're not selling Lenglet. If we sell him, miracle. Letter of freedom, maybe if we really convince him, but it's the same shit, different summer every single time. I'm gonna have to make Lenglet. I'm gonna have to talk about Lenglet for the whole entire month of July. Like, I'm sick to death of this guy. It's not, I just want to like F off. I get it, you know, he's on big money, he's earned the contract, blah 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 blah. But have some moral, have some decency. Every single summer, come back and you get some pictures in the training kit that I can use for my thumbnails and stuff like that. Then you end up getting sacked off. You remember last season he was at the Joao Gamper presentation, so would not be surprised if he's here August 11th, just chilling, training every single day, not being called up, not being involved whatsoever. Then gets pissed out on loan near the end of the summer. Now, Luis Rojo Market came out saying that Clement Lenglet has already rejected offers from Saudi Arabia as he wants to stay in Europe. Mate, just go play with Ronaldo. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne might be going to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia ain't all that bad. Talk about you want to be top in Europe. You just go to freaking AC Milan, Napoli, Aston Villa, Tottenham. You just ride their bench like no tomorrow. Go play some football. Have some sort of ambition to end your football career. You're once a decent center back. Then you end up flopping under mental pressure. Then now you can't even get a game to save your life. Oh, I'm going to play the top level. You're shite. You're shite. It took Tyrone Mings to break his leg twice and Konza to get injured and Pau Torres to break his meniscus for you to get some minutes. Bloody hell, man. We'll wait and see what happens with this French twat, but he ain't going anytime soon. If he leaves before August, beyond a miracle. Now, some more you could say negative news around center backs at Barcelona. We do have an update on the situation of Araújo. According to Javi Miguel of AS, Barcelona are starting to get worried about Araujo's renewal. The club wants to renew him, but the player's agents are continuing to drag their feet. It's very clear what Araujo is doing. He is just trying to, you know, waste time to give himself even more leverage in negotiation. By the time this mother effer comes back from the Copa America, whether he wins it or he gets knocked out in the group stages, a decision is needed. Before August, you have to decide, because by then you give it at least a month of the transfer window to try and bin you for around 80 to 90 million euros. Barcelona have been twerking for him for months now. I mean, you have the biggest club and the best club in the world twerking for you, and you're out here being a prick, you know, taking your time, not really listening, saying everything right in the media. I love Barcelona. Oh, we're gonna talk. Oh, it's an honor to be one of the captains. Oh, we'll talk. I think in the end, Araujo will end up renewing. But bloody hell, he's taking forever. Again, my sources are still saying the same thing, that it's 50-50. Like, there's no agreement. There's no talk since February when they had that, you know, cheeky little meeting that was leaked. There's been no real negotiation or talks whatsoever. But the Barcelona renewal offer has been on the table since. But Araujo just never answered it. But then you hear all the news about him being untouchable for Flick, him being integral to the Flick system. That Bernabeu also came out saying that Pedri and Araujo are considered non-transferable for Flick. All this stuff, you have Barcelona glazing you at this point, and yet you don't even want to show the decency of even acknowledging a renewal offer that we put on the table. Anything, even a report or something, some sort of communication where you're like, okay, I'm happy, I'm gonna renew, but right now I'm just focused on the Copa America. That will give tranquility. That will give peace of mind that, you know, okay, your first priority is stay at Barcelona. You want to renew. Let's negotiate. Find the best deal for all parties. That's fine. I understand you're not gonna stay here for peanuts. You want your payday. You want your bank, which is understandable. He was on his old renewal that he renewed back in 2022, earning way under his market value, which fair enough to him. I understand that, but all this delay and if, buts, and maybe, it's just annoying at this point. So we'll wait and see how things turn out with Araujo, but again, no advancement whatsoever on his contract renewal. From one weird report to another, we also have an update on another Flick untouchable in Frenkie de Jong, where David Bernabeu again from Sport came out saying that Flick values Frenkie as an important player in the squad. But if a significant offer comes in for the Dutchman, the coach will agree to his departure only if a suitable replacement comes in. Is this Flick or Xavi? Oh, it's the same report. Oh, bloody hell, guys. Oh, we're going to lose Frenkie. Calm down. Calm the F down. This is, again, just the media being bored out of their minds. Mbappe just joined Madrid. They need something to sell stories. This fits right into that mold. I wanted to say this. prayers to Frenkie de Jong, because not only is he getting cooked in the Barcelona media, he's getting cooked in the Dutch media as well. Poor guy cannot get a break to save his life. Unbelievable player, but expectations and how he's performing and renewal, he just gets killed in the media week in, week out. So prayers to Frenkie. Hopefully he comes through this rough patch. We'll wait and see whether or not he plays at the Euros as well. Keep your eyes on his ankle injury, see how that develops. But again, Barcelona does not need an important sale this summer. Again, we'll talk about that when we cover Laporta's interview. So us selling Frenkie de Jong this summer will not be straight for funds. If we sell Frenkie de Jong this summer, it's either because he does not want to stay or the offer was too good and Barcelona think he's not, good enough, whatever the case may be. But with him being, a fourth captain, him, being one of the veterans now of the team, especially with the Club de Amigos guys leaving, I see it as very difficult unless a big offer comes in. So wait and see. But again, he's very much in the same situation as Araújo. No advancements on their future, and everyone's just left wondering what's going to happen. Now, there have been some reports as well in regards to players having a reset under Hansi Flick, with Sport coming out saying that all players will start from scratch under Hansi Flick. So you might even see a Clement Lenglet remontada. Also, Pablo Torre, who could impress because it's thought that the coach system favors him a lot. So again, I still see it very difficult with the amount of midfielders that we have in Pablo Torre's position. Even if he does impress, there's no room for him in the squad unless a Frenkie sale happens or Xavi ain't coming back till the end of the season or whatever the case may be. It's still difficult for him to get in, even if he does impress as well. And the same can kind of go for Sergi Roberto as well. Now, on Roberto, according to Jordi Gil from Sport, he has made a decision to wait for Barcelona to register his renewal. A move away isn't fully ruled out if interesting offers do arrive, but today his priority is to stay, despite the fact that there's no guarantees that he can be registered. Again, like I told you guys, I think this all will blow over. There's no way Barcelona cannot afford to register Sergi Roberto. I think it just comes down to actual in-house decisions, whether or not Flick wants him, Laporta and the board want to keep him. They've already, communicated to Roberto that they want him to stay, so I doubt they'll back out on it. I think Roberto in the end will stay. And whether he will, we talked about, of course, in the last video, how his minutes will be way reduced under Hansi Flick. Him alongside Pablo Torre as well could have that restart where, again, fresh face, fresh coach, he'll give everyone a chance. And you never know, maybe Roberto does impress him in, preseason training, then Hansi Flick pushes for his renewal as well. A lot of things can happen, but only time will tell. Let's discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past 24 hours. We do have some massive updates in regards to the 1-1 rule and how close Barcelona are getting. Mundo Deportivo came out saying that La Liga will inform the clubs about financial fair play from next Monday, which is of course June the 10th. Barcelona wants to find out if they can return to the 1-1 rule. This would of course require the completion of the deal with Nike and payment for Barca Studios. If not, the club starts from the 50% rule, where it can only resume this percentage of each player's sale in a new registration, and it can only be at 60% if sold player has a salary who costs at least 5% of the total cost. So a lot of numbers there, but pretty much get back to the 1-1 rule, or you're gonna have to sell players to buy players. As simple as that. But again, Barcelona, as I've been telling you guys on the channel for months, it is easy to get back to the 1-1 rule, and one of those avenues is almost done, and that is the new deal with Nike. Memorabilia came out saying that the expectation is for the agreement between Barcelona and Nike to be officially announced this Friday or Saturday. The new deal with Nike will make Barcelona the best paid sponsorship club in the world, and also Alex Pentel confirmed this, saying the deal with Nike is now confirmed to be imminent. The renewal bonus could be set between 100 to 150 million euros plus 120 million per season, as the salary deal would be valid for 10 years. This will likely help Barcelona return to the 1-1 rule, strengthen the squad without having to sell players. I would celebrate this, but we've seen this coming now for about 2 months. I think what Laporta has done with the Nike deal has been nothing short of absolutely sensational. What he's done with the Nike deal, the Spotify deal, the economic levers, everything behind the scenes where he's mainly involved, he's been absolutely sensational, absolutely exceptional, and has basically saved this club from bankruptcy. Again, this is an absolutely unbelievable deal. We went from Nike offering us nothing, like 80 million salary with no sign-on bonus, to now 150 million euro sign-on bonus and the best contract in the world, as we deserve to be. We sell ridiculous shirts. We have, of course, the most views in La Liga. We sell the most kits in the world with Nike as well. I don't know what Real Madrid do with Adidas, but with Nike, of course, we're their best supplier without a shadow of a doubt. We have absolutely fire kits coming out next season, so the bank is going to be flying in Nike headquarters. So excellent work by Joao Laporta. Again, now we are just waiting for the final announcement. Now, the final topic that I wanted to discuss before I end off this video is yet another Joao Laporta interview, bloody hell, man. Like, when he talks, you just gotta listen. So I'm gonna cover his whole entire interview that he did yesterday with Barca 1. So it's in-house as well. I only took out the good parts. If I went through the whole entire interview, we'd be here for freaking hours. So I just took out the big important stuff, transfers, Xavi, all that sort of stuff. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get crack-a-lacking. Came out saying that as a culé, he's talking about firstly on the Mbappe deal to Real Madrid, saying that as a culé, this is not good news. He wanted to win the Champions League, go to the final in the basketball division. But with respect to Mbappe, I like our sporting philosophy, better forming a team with players from here in-house. I respect what the rivals do, but I want to stick with our philosophy. Then asked on returning to the Spotify Camp Nou, saying that if there are no problems at the end of the year, we'll be able to return to the new Spotify Camp Nou with the patience of the members. I believe in the moment of difficulty when we will be the most proud of Barcelona. The women's football has given us a Champions League, and we hope that the handball, good luck this weekend too. I'm proud. Again, the rumors have been that we're going to return to the Spotify Camp Nou around March. So if we can get there, like Laporta says, before the end of the year, that would be great. On the debt, he said that we have reduced the debt by around 200 million euros. We're about to have sporting economic resulting and management with the 1-1 rule that will make it easier for us. Here's the bombshell. Asked on Xavi's goodbye. He said that Xavi has done a good job. He took over a team at a time of maximum difficulty. Last year he won the league and Super Cup, but this year things had not gone as well. In February, I agreed to let him leave in June because he's a culé and because he has helped us not to urgently look for a replacement. Then he asked to continue, and I asked him if he believed in this team, and he said yes. He's lying. He's lying. He was twerking for Xavi to stay all time. There's no. I think Laporta did say it. When Xavi resigned, I think Laporta said stay. He said no. He said okay, you want to leave? I'll accept it. You're a legend. Thanks for everything. But you were twerking for him for months. You were convincing him. There's interviews of you coming out before and after games. Oh, we'll talk to Xavi at the end of the season. We're very happy. We never wanted to sack him. He's lying. Again, it's all politics, but he is lying. What changed in terms of the team that made me realize that I had to sack him, give another push, made me consider, and I thought of Hansi Flick to be the best out of the options on the market. It had to be finished in an elegant way with Xavi, who's the club's doors are open because he has earned it to boost the team. On his dismissals, and that everything could have been done better. Of course, the what was well decided, the how it was done based on circumstances of the moment, and we were playing for second place in the league. After beating Rayo Vallecano, I told Xavi that we will talk after the Sevilla game because that week Barcelona were playing in the Champions League final for the women's team. But Xavi's insecurity and desire to know what was happening made me announce before the women's final. Laporta got really slated. He got a lot of heat for announcing this during a pivotal moment for the women's team, and everyone in the media were very, very unhappy, saying, oh, why didn't he just wait, let everyone focus on the women's team. Laporta here is saying that, look, I was gonna wait, but Xavi just wouldn't leave me alone. He's just throwing Xavi under the bus here. Now, where he says here, the decision that was decided was fine, just the execution was poor. I can agree with that. Again, I think I was, of course, Xavi in. I still think he's the best man going forward. I think he was wrongly sacked. But, sacking him is not outrageous. It's not like, Prime Pep sacking him where I would fly to Barcelona myself, shoot you in the foot and say what the hell you're doing. It's a bit different than that. Again, the what is not really the issue, it's the how and the whole entire circumstances, and at least Laporta recognized that, but again, he's really defending himself here. He's basically saying that, look, Xavi just wouldn't leave me alone, he kept on bothering me about his future. Xavi was doing 5 press conferences a week, man. He's getting slated by the media. What do you want him to do? I think Xavi was well in his right to bother Laporta. And to be honest, as a fan, I do care about the women's team, of course, but I just wanted to know as well. I did not want to wait another 5-6 days sitting here with rumors left, right, and center. We were all sick and tired of it. I think in the end, everything played out for a reason. He's then asked on his decision about Barcelona legends and how they're leaving, saying, look, I had to make the decisions with Barca legends. My heart told me to continue, but my head didn't. I hope that the good relationship continues over time. We will see. I've already experienced this with Koeman, Piqué, Alba, Messi, and Busquets, and now with Xavi. All decisions are for the good of Barcelona in a desert journey to which I already see an end. The interest of the club is above all. I do agree with that, but Piqué left okay, Jordi Alba left fine, Busquets left fine, Messi didn't, of course, Koeman didn't, and Xavi didn't. The Messi one, nothing could have changed with that. Koeman, he was just shit. He's of course, Barca legend as a player, but as a manager, wow, madre mia. I think the worst out of all of these is without Xavi doubt, the Xavi situation. He says that I assume responsibility for the decision of all the decisions along with my management. We also took into account the decision of the sports management, and since we had Flick's option, we executed it. It gave us a lot of confidence to see what he knows about the squad more than we thought he did. Okay, he did his research. Big fucking deal. On appointing Hansi Flick, I thought of Hansi Flick as a father of a dynasty of German coaches, and that I could not sign him at the moment because he accepts the German national team. Since Xavi said that he was going to leave, Hansi has been studying the squad and seeing how to use the players. He just confirmed there that when Xavi said he was leaving, Laporta kind of gave him hints like, yeah, you're in the running. I don't think he negotiated or started anything per se, but so basically since February until now, Hansi Flick has been glazing over the Barcelona squad, watching us, analyzing us, so you can't say he's not coming in well prepared. When we decided that Xavi was not going to continue, Deco and Boye met with Hansi Flick in London. Oh! So that London trip for the Europa League final was true. It was not all... they didn't go to London just for the Europa League final. They went there to meet with Hansi Flick. He's very excited. He is calm, responsible, mature. He gives us peace of mind that he's going to go well. I told him where I was coming to the club. That is more than a club property, that partners, so that he understands the way of seeing life. It gives me good feelings. We talked about it with Hansi, and I was satisfied with the level of knowledge that he has about the club. Javi has brought him up today. He is very good professional. His teams are very physically prepared. He won at Sextuple, of course, equaling out with the results before us that I did not want to remember. Of course, he's talking about there the 8-2. On La Masia with Hansi Flick, saying the commitment to La Masia is unconditional, and Flick has already opted for this basis in Bayern Munich, and with Germany, he's going to meet with Lamine Yamal, Balde, Gavi, Kubarsi, Fermin, Ford, Aru. Man, put in Araújo. And Pedri, he's going to work with the youngsters with a lot of a future, reinforced by other players like Frenkie de Jong, Lewandowski. He's very motivated to get the most out of this team, and that's the key there. Laporta thinks that this team, that the squad that we currently have, Laporta thinks is good enough to go out and win a treble. That's Laporta's mindset. Where I completely disagree. I think we have a few holes left that we need to patch, but Laporta, it's quite clear that he thinks that this squad is good enough right now to compete on all fronts. He then asked on departure of players, saying that, look, I've named all of them, but, Koundé transmits strength to me. He goes to the gym after every game. Inigo, Sergi, Roberto. But he dropped Roberto's name in there. But it depends on the coach. If he thinks adjustments need to be made, they will be done. There are players who are ending their contracts, some who have asked to leave, and those who are coming back from loan, like Ansu Fati, who won't succeed, according to what he said, of course, and what I read in Mundo Deportivo, of course, his interview that I covered in yesterday's video. So he's saying that some players have asked to leave, which is going to be interesting to see what happens. But again, he says there, if the coach, it depends on the coach. If he thinks adjustments need to be made, they will be done. So keep that in mind. Then asked on the squad for next season, saying that Flick and Deco are deciding how the squad will look, the additions, the departures, the changes in physical preparation, rules internally, discipline, schedule. As I said at the Sportiva, they will make the decision. They will submit them to the board of directors, and we will see if they can be validated depending on the transition we are making towards economic tranquility. I'm starting to realize that Laporta is, the Barcelona manager at this point. Bloody hell, he wants to review Flick's rules and Flick's, schedules and then approve it. Let the man do what he wants to do. I mean, if you just want to see them and then you're going to approve it no matter what, then fine. But what if Flick wants to have dinner at 8, but you're like, no, 10 is better. Do it at 10. Then you're just basically the effing manager at this point. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm reading a bit too deep into it. Here's a big question. He was asked if player sales are needed, and he said that it is not necessary to make a big sale. We have increased income. We are close to resolving our situation that last year gave us fair play, and we are in negotiation for a contract that will be the best on the market in kit sponsor, i.e. Nike. Everything we're doing is simultaneously with the Spotify Cap New Works as well. This is why I value the attitude of the member more and more. So he's basically saying that we don't need any big sales. We can operate based on our own realm. So any big sale will be because the player asks to leave, or maybe a big offer comes in that is, unable to be rejected. He's then asked on the Joaos, saying that we want the Joaos to continue. Deco is working to ensure they will continue with us for another season. In the current conditions, Hansi Flick considers that they are high-quality players, and when he coached Bayern Munich, he already tried to sign Joao Felix as well. I think he could have gotten more performances because he has extraordinary qualities. My effing God. Laporta is the manager. We already knew that Joao Felix was 100% a Joao Laporta signing. And Joao Laporta just says now that he didn't get that much game time last season. I think he's still a great player. We are so fucked, man. I'm a big supporter of Laporta, but these motherfucking quotes just make me question life in general. It has to be. If Hansi Flick wants to keep Felix, fine. But you cannot just say, oh, Hansi Flick, keep Felix. He's great. I like him. What the Anyways, he's asked on other Barcelona players as well, and I'm also happy with Lewandowski, Raphinha, Lamine, Ferran, who's had injuries, but when it comes out, he has an admirable attitude. Overall, he hasn't done well, and we haven't won. They are young, and they need to play more. I think the injuries, especially with Xavi, have disrupted everything from last season. What he demands from Flick: we ask Flick to win, take out a well-rounded team. We will be able to prepare it physically without giving our style away, but with more physical preparation to play with 2 touches and recover the ball quickly. I said that losing would have consequences, and this is what has been happening. I give them that in the 60th minute. The team dropped a level in the game, and they do not end well, like the 2 games against Real Madrid, and they came back in the last minute. Oh my god, sensible quote here from Joao Laporta. Finally, he's right. You know, the team played well for 60 minutes, and after 60 minutes, we always drop off. I mean, it's quite evident. I've even talked about it in my match reviews on multiple occasions, and that is a frailty. So hopefully Hansi Flick can come in, make the team more physical, make it more prepared to play at a high level for a full 90 minutes. That's a fantastic point there from Joao Laporta. Credit to him. I'm not saying that we're not well prepared, but we are always trying to look to improve things with Flick. The physical preparation will be improved. To do this, we will adapt to the structure of the club, and the coach will come in that they are designed with. So again, confirming that the coaches that Hansi Flick wants will be coming in. Here's the kicker, by the way. He's asked on Christensen and Casado, saying that Christensen, who I have not named, has played defensive midfield. He is in the position in which an addition must be made as players from Barça Athletic will come up, like Marc Casado, who is having a phenomenal season. We have a very well-rounded squad, and with secondary players who can compete with some democrations. We can compete in Europe with the squad based on our youth. This is what Hansi Flick transmits to us, and what we think. We have a squad to compete in Spain and in Europe with possibilities of success. I told you guys, Joao Laporta thinks that the current squad right now is good enough to compete at the highest level on all fronts as well. Then he's asked again on returning to Spotify news, and the return will be at the end of the year. The technical side of it tells us that the mid-December, or January, with 60% capacity, it will be possible. We return home with some inconveniences and sacrifices with simultaneous work, but we will return. We will, of course, finish 75% of the stadium with the best stadium in the world, to be among the elite, and be able to compete. This is, of course, the most important work in the history of the institution. It had to be done, and we have to now have much more income. We are proud to be undertaking this work, which has been done for years ago. It is a very emotional to take a tour of the works. And finally, he was asked on the Nogueira case, saying that's satisfied because I'm no longer accused of investigating, but they investigated me, and that surprised me. With us, anything goes. You can go to fields, and it seems to be that we buy referees when it is documented that it was just advice. They have managed to condition us with refereeing decisions. And again, he went on and on about. He's still talking about the Lamine Yamal goal against Real Madrid, by the way, which is absolutely outrageous. So overall, this interview, to be honest, not too happy about it. It seems quite clear that Laporta runs everything, that he makes all decisions on signings and stuff like that, which really isn't, bodes well for him. I talked about, of course, the 2 Joao's staying, and how he thinks that this current squad that we have right now is good enough to compete at all levels next season. And even talked about, signings like Zubimendi and Kimmich, saying that, he's like, if we need them, sure, but it's not really something that we're looking at right now, which I think is absolutely bogus. He also mentioned that, the club do want to sign a midfielder and a left winger. So again, at least the priorities are straight. But overall, not the best interview in my opinion. I think, of course, the insights for us as fans, what he did with Xavi and everything like that was all, of course, good. His portrayal of himself as a president did not go well down in this interview, in my opinion anyways. But the obvious are important, of course. Returning to the 1-1 rule, not being able to sell players this summer. We can function hopefully somewhat relatively normal this summer transfer window. And again, now it all comes down to execution and preparation ahead of the new season. So that's my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing, well, firstly, of course, is your thoughts on the signing of Bernardo Silva. Would you do it or not? Second, your thoughts on the signing of Xavi Simons. Not only would you do it or not, but you think it's actually viable and possible. Thirdly, your thoughts on the future of Frenkie de Jong and Araújo. Where do you see them, should I say, in about 2 months' time? And finally, your thoughts on all the insight and all the details that Joao Laporta gave in this interview, and how do you portray him following his words? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barça. Yeah.